it's just been amazing. And I'll come back to that why it's been amazing. And then all the bilateral partners. My counterparts, finance ministers of Saudi Arabia, UAE, China, UK, etc. And of course Turkey also, because we want to engage with them in a very constructive way in terms of the trade corridor. Before I go on to other engagements, two consistent messages from our multilateral and bilateral partners. Number one, it was really very satisfying to see the complementarity that they were giving to the country in terms of transformation which has happened in a very, very small time period, which is 12 to 14 months. So we appreciate that. We could not have gotten here, including the US administration, whom we met both on the Treasury and on the state side. We could not have come here without their very explicit support. But it was also good to see and hear the acknowledgement that your direction of travel is good. The other consistent message is stay the course. Stay the course. Because मैं बड़ी ओपनली बात करता हूँ और मैं कोई ढुकी छिपी बात नहीं करता हूँ, मैं तो उर्दू में बात करूँगा और उसकी वजह ये है कि हम भटक जाते हैं. When we get to a certain stage of macroeconomic stability and we get the sugar rush and we want to go forward in terms of the growth paradigm, we go off track. And what our multilateral and bilateral partners are telling us, stay the course. And I do think that's the right thing to do as we go forward, because we need to get onto a sustainable growth path. The boom and bust cycles that we have seen in our country, and therefore we are in the 24th IMF program. So this time around, we cannot afford to squander this opportunity. It's a fantastic opportunity. I just mentioned where we are with Fitch in terms of D-. That's where we started off from, three and a half years back. So we have been at this juncture before. So I think the advice that we are getting and the view that we are getting from our multilateral and bilateral partners is spot on. And that is the reason why I'm very clear when we talk about the IMF program. I have been very consistent in saying it is the Pakistan program, which is helped, supported, assisted, funded by the IMF. Do we need taxation to go from where we are languishing from 9 to 10% to 13.5%? Do we know the energy? Do we need the energy reforms? Do we need to have the private sector leading the country? I think we should be all, and my view is we are all in agreement that that is the right thing to do. Well, if that's what our multilateral and bilateral partners are also asking and therefore supporting us, I think we should acknowledge and we should cherish this kind of relationship that we have, where they are supporting us in this journey to get into Committee of Nations, get into a situation where this is indeed the last program, and we move forward. Last couple of comments, and then we'll open it up as well. The road to market. Where do we go from here? Export-led growth, which might at this point in time sound slightly paradoxical, but all the work which has happened under Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's leadership over the last 12 months, we've been diversifying the sectors which can export, and we have been diversifying the markets. While the global trade might take a back seat, the regional corridors are going to become even more and more important. So it's not only textile, IT services, agriculture, pharma, all of those things and now increasingly auto, because for the first time we've seen auto manufacturers exporting their cars and vehicles into Africa. And then diversification into the export markets and the regional corridors. And right now, for example, I'm just throwing a number out there. The bilateral trade that we have with Turkey is $1 billion. Their trade numbers, you know better than I do. To get it to 5 billion, is it a big deal? No, it's not a big deal. And therefore, if we focus on these things, we can move forward and we can take things. The last thing is FDI, and on the B2B basis, we have seen a number of companies coming through. Minerals and mining is a real game changer for us. We've seen a couple of weeks back where all delegations came in, including the US delegation, UAE, China, with respect to the first copper mine which is coming through. This is not an MOU, this is not pie in the sky. This project is going into COD in 28. Work is already underway. We met IFC, we met Exim Bank, we met DFC. So it's all institutions coming together in terms of supporting the financial flows associated with this project. And then going forward, this is the first. And this one is where we are exporting raw ore and raw copper. Going forward, you heard the Prime Minister there as well, and the Chief talking about it as well. And the reality is, going forward, we need to go into value add and go into downstream, and therefore all new concessions are going to come through with the smelting and everything else.
दुरुस्त हर वक्त बर वक्त